How much exactly does it cost to get prepared to serve a full-time mission? The good news is it doesn't have to cost as much as you think. Whether you are a parent helping a future missionary prepare, or you're a future missionary yourself, I've got a plan to help you save money as you prepare to serve your mission. Hi, I'm the Missionary Mom, and I'm on a mission to help you with all things missionary. One major question I had when preparing my son to serve his mission was, how much exactly is this going to cost? And the annoying but accurate answer is that it's different for every mission and for every missionary. But if you really want a specific number, stick around towards the end of the video and I'll tell you exactly how much we spent on preparing my son for his mission. We worked with our son since he was about 8 years old to save the money to pay for his own mission. And he achieved that goal. It was fantastic. He was able to pay for his own mission and we were really proud of him. But unfortunately, I didn't even think about the fact that we needed to outfit him and where that money was going to come from. I didn't think of it until about the time that he got his mission call. Now this plan is set out in a specific order, so hopefully it will help you to avoid some of the pitfalls that we ran across. My first tip for today is to set aside an allotment each month to go towards the cost of preparing your child for their mission. And I would start a little over a year from the time that you plan on receiving your mission call. A safe dollar amount would be about $200 a month. This way, when you finally receive your mission call, you'll have a good chunk of money set aside. You can start to buy all of the things that are on your list. My second tip for the day is to do your research. Now, this is hard to do before your call comes, so I recommend you do this as soon as you receive your mission call. The first place to start with your research is the packing list that they include with your mission call. This is a good jumping off point, but it's not very thorough. It's lacking all of the fine little details. And so start here, where you're going to have to do a little bit more research than this. The next thing I would do is I would ask around and to see if anybody you know knows someone who has served in this same mission. If you're going to the Australia Adelaide mission, ask around. Have you heard of anybody? Do you have any friends? Do you have any family members who have also served in the Australia Adelaide mission? If they've got someone for you, reach out to them, talk to them. You can ask them specific products that they use that worked for them. You can ask them things that they thought that they would use that didn't actually end up being very useful. You can ask all kinds of questions. If you can't find somebody you know who has served in that mission, go to social media. Go to Facebook or Instagram and type in the name of the mission. And there's a really good chance that you'll pull up a group that's specifically for that mission. And you can contact people that have served in that mission or parents of missionaries that have served in that mission, and you can direct all of those questions to them as well. My third tip for the day is to make a list. Now that you've done all of your research, every time you think of something, write it down on your list. Every little thing that comes to mind, even if it's just nail clippers, put those down on that list. I would categorize it, and this helped me to see a little bit more clearly exactly what was there and to find it easily on my list. Once you've made your list, you can attach a reasonable price that you think you'd be willing to pay for each item on that list. And this will take us to tip number 4, which is to set a budget and try to stick at least loosely to it. Now, I would caution you here to play your own game. Only spend as much money as you have. Different people spend different amounts depending on the mission that they're getting sent to and their own financial situation. You may have a friend who spent $4,000 preparing for their mission. But if you have $1,500, you can make it work for $1,500. That will be enough. Tip number 5 today is don't buy what you don't have to. Around the time that a missionary is leaving, during their farewell and open houses, it's common for family members and friends and coworkers to gift the missionary money. And my suggestion would be to put that money towards good use for especially those last minute things that you haven't purchased yet. My son received several $100s that we were able to put towards last minute items on his missionary list. And that was a really big help, and we were super grateful to friends and family members for that. Another suggestion that I have that is in this same tip is at gift giving time around Christmas or birthday, this year before your missionary is getting ready to leave, grandparents or aunts and uncles or anybody else that gives your missionary gifts, you can make suggestions to them for things that they could give that would help outfit the missionary for their mission. I would also suggest that as a parent, you use gift giving time the year before your missionary leaves to give gifts that will be useful on the mission. Now, I know that you might feel like, oh, I don't want to waste their last Christmas or their last birthday on gifts that they can only use on their mission. But there are things that you can give that will be exciting to them, that are functional for their mission as well. If they don't have a good pair of earbuds, those are really helpful on a mission. And every teenager appreciates a good pair of earbuds. A good pair of athletic shoes is a great thing. A nice jacket would be a good suggestion as well. It doesn't have to be all just boring stuff. And then my final suggestion under this tip would be to use what you already have. If you already have it, don't buy it. This could include casual clothes, ties, athletic shoes, really anything that they have that is on your packing list that is in good condition, you can take. You don't have to buy it brand new. My sixth tip for the day is to be willing to buy used. Facebook Marketplace is an awesome resource for this kind of thing. I went on yesterday and in just a quick search, I was able to find shoes that would be fantastic for a sister missionary that cost 50% of what they were new, and this sister had only worn them a couple of times. I saw messenger bags that a missionary could use that cost well over $100 on Amazon, and this one was very gently used for $20. I saw suits that someone had worn for only their wedding, and now they were selling it for $20. These are all fantastic things that you can definitely take on a mission, and they can save you tons of money. When my son was going, I knew he needed luggage. He didn't own any luggage. And so I looked around and I looked on Facebook myself, and I wasn't able to really find anything there, but I did find a lady in our ward who was selling a set of luggage that had barely been used for $60 for the entire set. And so we bought that. And that was a really big help in saving money for his mission. The only caution that I would make here is to make sure to buy something that is close to like new as possible. You don't want to bring something out that's already seen half of its wear. Buy things that are as close to new as possible, and they will work just great. My tip number 7 is to shop around for deals. Now, if you can't find it used, my recommendation would be to look everywhere, compare prices. You do not have to pay the first sticker price that you see. Dillard's price is going to be different than Amazon's price, which will be different than the Missionary Mall's price. Shop around as much as you possibly can. Now, there are two schools of thought to this. There's the one that requires less energy, and then there's the one that requires less money. And you just have to decide which one is most important to you. You can walk into a specialty missionary store, hand them your packing list, and ask them to outfit you. And this can be done with minimal energy on your part, but it will cost you a lot more money. Or you can spend your energy to shop around, to go to different places, to spend time online comparing prices. And this will require more energy on your part, but you will get some fantastic deals and save yourself hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So you just have to decide which is important to you. My 8th tip for today is to buy name brand quality where quality matters. There are some things where a quality piece is going to be so valuable. A really good pair of shoes is going to come in clutch when you are walking around in the Amazon on your mission, or if you're putting miles upon miles on the streets of New York City. You are going to want a piece there that is high quality and you can trust that it will last forever. There are other things that you don't have to worry so much about. You can just get it at Walmart or get it at a place like that where it doesn't cost so much and it will do just fine. My 9th tip for the day would be to buy less by purchasing things that coordinate. If you're a sister and you're buying cardigans, 2 cardigans in a neutral color will coordinate with everything, and you have to buy much less than if you had bought very specialty items that only go with 1 or 2 things in your closet. If you're buying pants and you're an elder, buying pants that will go with every tie that you're bringing Every jacket that you have, every sweater, every pair of shoes will make it so that you do not have to buy as many. My 10th tip for the day is to not give in to fear and gimmicks. I will tell you, while I was preparing my son for his mission, I walked into a travel specialty store. And the owner of the store was really excited about a pair of socks that they were selling there, that they were just the top of the line. And really the way that he was playing it is, these are the only pairs of socks that will really work for missionaries. These socks will save them from so much heartache, and really their life is going to be really hard if they don't have those socks. And then I looked at the sticker price, $23 per pair of socks. And that was way outside of my budget. Socks were important to me, but $23 was too much. I did some shopping around and I found some fantastic socks for much. So my recommendation would be to not give in to the fear. If you've got the money to pay for it, go for it. But otherwise, try to safeguard yourself from the fear and the gimmicks that come from outfitting yourself for a mission for 18 months or 2 years. My final tip for the day would be, don't pack things you won't use. One prime example was I insisted over and over and over that my son needed to bring an umbrella, because I'd heard from other missionaries that had served in the mission that he was going to that an umbrella was absolutely indispensable to them. And so I convinced him to bring in an umbrella. And I asked him the other day if he'd ever used it, and he said the only thing he ever used it for was to fight off dogs, stray dogs. So I guess it was useful for that, but it was something that everybody else used that he knew he wouldn't use, and I convinced him to bring it. And that was not a good move on my part. If you know you won't use it, don't spend money on it and don't pack it. All right, those are our 11 tips for today to help you to prepare for your full-time mission for less money. I told you if you'd hang around and I'd tell you how much we spent on my son's mission. Before tax, it was about $2,100, and after tax, it was about $2,300. There were things that I bought that I feel really strongly were good purchases, and there are things that I bought that we probably wouldn't buy again. But overall, I felt pretty good about the planning that we did for his mission. If you're interested in exactly what that breakdown looks like and what we spent on each thing, if you look down below in the details, I will include a link to a spreadsheet that has every item we bought, how many of them we bought, where we bought it at, and what its purchase price was. And hopefully that can help you a little bit as you prepare for your mission. Again, every mission is different. My son is serving in Guatemala, and that's going to be very different from the packing list for a missionary that's serving in Poland or Japan or Boston. But hopefully it can get you started and give you some information as you get ready to serve one of the biggest adventures of your entire life. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see videos in the future about all things missionary. Appreciate you stopping by.